Welcome to another edition of A New Me, your weekly consultation with the Washington, D.C. area's best doctors and professionals. Our guest experts help you learn about the latest medical advances and procedures by providing you with the real information necessary to help you eliminate the dangers of making the wrong medical and cosmetic enhancement decisions. Get ready for your consultation. Coming up, we will be on location at About Face Aesthetic Centers in Alexandria, Virginia, discussing the latest advancements in skin rejuvenation that can give you the beautiful skin that you've always desired with one of this area's top cosmetic medicine specialists, Dr. Leslie Pickens. Dr. Pickens received her doctorate from the Tulane University School of Medicine. She is a member of the American Academy of Cosmetic Physicians and is also recognized as one of this country's top doctors by the Consumers Research Council of America. Welcome, Dr. Pickens.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
It's our pleasure to have you on today. We've got a lot to talk about, and I understand there'll be a patient joining us a bit later, not to mention seeing you perform a treatment as well.
Yes, that's great.
So let me begin by asking you if you can please tell us what are some of the latest treatments and procedures in skin rejuvenation.
Well, actually, there's a new procedure, and it involves electrical and optical energies. So it's a light-based procedure. It's put out by a company called Syneron.
Very interesting. And how does it work?
Well, it involves radio frequency and infrared heat. Now, these things are not new to medicine. We've been using them for years, and a lot of people are familiar with them because it was used, or it is continued to be used in physical therapy. And radio frequency and infrared heat used in physical therapy helps to reduce muscle spasms.
And then what does it do in this particular area of skin rejuvenation?
Well, for skin rejuvenation, it helps to correct three main problems that most people that come to me are concerned with: color correction, skin tightening, and improvement in the texture of their skin, as well as acne scars.
Very interesting. And how does it work basically in these areas?
Well, heat directed to the dermis of the skin helps with discolorations and imperfections. Things like hyperpigmentation or dark spots, sunspots, age spots on the skin can be reduced. Also, wrinkles or skin laxity can be tightened. And then thirdly, imperfections like scarring and even blood vessels. A lot of us have heard of rosacea, which is a form of acne. It's an inflammatory condition that leaves redness and areas of inflammation and sometimes pustules on the skin.
Okay.
And that can be reduced greatly with this treatment.
Well, it sounds like you've got a very good technology here that you're utilizing, as you just described, as far as being an effective treatment for those multiple problems. Now, for the viewers out there watching, who would you say would be a good candidate that could benefit from these treatments?
Well, I would suggest anyone who is interested in the problems of uneven skin tone, if you have imperfections on your skin, like dark spots, age spots, freckles. A lot of times the skin heals with dark spots from previous acne or just sun exposure. That would be a type of person who could benefit from this. Secondly, a person who is concerned about skin laxity. As we get older, our face starts to sag.
Yes, it starts drooping.
That's right, drooping. And to have a little tightening, this can actually achieve what we call a non-surgical facelift.
I take it from this procedure that you're about to tell us about a little bit more in detail, one can get the same effect without the surgery.
That's right, and even better, without the cost, without the surgical risks, and no downtime.
Well, that's wonderful, doctor. And what type of results can we expect from all this?
Well, in the case of color correction, you can expect improvement of dark areas. You can expect the blood vessels, those broken capillaries on the face, to be lessened. And in the case of rosacea, those inflammatory areas on the face, often the nose, the cheeks, the chin, those can be greatly reduced. And in the case of wrinkles, well, we see quite a bit of tightening. And the areas that are sagging, the areas that have the pit marks or scars from acne during youth or teenage years, that can be smoothed out very greatly with this type of procedure because of the heat.
Okay, very interesting.
And the way that it works is that initially the collagen that is already in the skin tightens. And then with continued treatment over time, there's collagen that's newly laid down. So you get actually new formation of collagen, and that's how the tightening is achieved.
Speaking of results, I believe, Dr. Pickens, that you have some patient before and after pictures that you'd like to show us?
Yes, in viewing these series of patients, one can see that the hyperpigmented areas, the dark spots or mottling of the skin, has been lessened. And you can also see that the sagging areas in the mid-face and lower face has been tightened.
Some very impressive results indeed. That speaks for itself, what we just saw. And you're right, people look younger. You look better. You have that youth back that we may have lost over the years.
That's exactly right.
Now, as far as number of visits, you touched on it briefly a bit earlier, Dr. Pickens, for these treatments. Do people need to come back, say, a few times or over a period of time, or is it something that's done in 1 or 2 visits?
Right. Well, these treatments are normally recommended to be done 3 to 5 times.
Okay.
And each service is scheduled 1 month apart.
Okay.
And then for maintenance, it's recommended to have it done every 3 to 6 months.
After that, it's initial 3 to 5 treatments.
That's right.
Okay. Well, that certainly helps us understand what's involved. And you said it only takes about 20 or 30 minutes for each visit.
That's right. And the beauty is that these treatments can be performed on all skin types, even people with dark or ethnic skin.
So different skin tones, they all can benefit from this.
That's right,
And-
safely.
And I love the fact that we're not looking at a much of a period of time as far as the visits go, because 20 to 30 minutes, Dr. Pickens, for the busy professionals out there that are watching right now, they can literally come during their lunchtime.
That's right.
And then get back to work, and 3 to 5 times over 3 to 5 months, once every month you said initially, and we've got a much younger and fresher look all of a sudden.
That's right. And usually by the second treatment, when the client comes back for their second treatment, they're already seeing improvements.
We're now going to meet Patty, who's a patient of Dr. Pickens.
Hi, my name is Patty, and I came to see Dr. Pickens for a consultation on skincare. She recommended that for my skin type as well as the concerns that I have, that I undergo the Trinity, which actually is a series of 3 different treatments. One is a resurfacing of the skin texture. The other is to get rid of photoaging, which you can't really see, but is the skin damage done by baking in the sun, which I confess I was pretty guilty of doing until I learned about how it causes wrinkles. And third, I had the Refirm, which helps to lift and tighten your skin. That was probably one of my biggest concerns, because I just felt that the older I got, the more gravity took over and my face started sagging, and I just didn't like looking older than I really felt. So I had all 3 procedures done, and I was really pleased with the results. Probably one of the biggest improvements I noticed was I had broken little blood vessels across my cheeks, particularly on this side, as a result of having rosacea. And my cheeks and chin would get very bright red too. Despite having treatment by my dermatologist, I found that using these skin procedures that Dr. Pickens did actually caused the little broken blood vessels to heal so that you don't even see them anymore. and also it decreased the redness of my skin. People who hadn't seen me in a really long time commented on how youthful my skin looked, how bright and glowing it was, as well as how I just looked so rested. When I went for a follow-up to my dermatologist, she commented on how great my rosacea was responding to her treatment. And I didn't want to hurt her feelings, so I didn't tell her that I actually think I got better results from the procedures I had Dr. Pickens do.
We're now back with Dr. Pickens. I must say, Patty seemed very pleased with the results.
Yes, she did, and I was so happy for her when she achieved those results.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think you had mentioned earlier there wasn't any downtime.
Well, there's no downtime at all for the treatment that does the color correction and for the treatment that firms the face. It's called Refirm. There is possibly about 3 to 5 days of downtime for the skin resurfacing. That's the one that actually changes the surface, improves the surface of your skin. The texture becomes less rough and smoother in the case of scars or wrinkles. And what I mean when I say 3 to 5 days, the face will have an appearance of redness kind of like a sunburn.
Okay.
And my clients tend to cover that up with makeup and still go to work.
And obviously, look, what's a little bit of time down, like you just mentioned, in the manner you just mentioned, compared to getting that look back that we lost many years ago?
That's right. And because of the newer technology, you don't have the weeping and peeling.
Yes.
And there's really no need for the strong prescription painkillers because these procedures are really quite comfortable. If necessary, and many times it's not necessary, but we do have the topical creams that can assist us with providing anesthesia to make the procedure more comfortable for the patient.
We're now going to see Dr. Pickens perform a treatment.
And you can see Patty is quite comfortable, experiencing no pain, even though we didn't provide any anesthesia or pre-treatment with medication. It's really not required. She can go on back to work after this treatment because there's no downtime. And we are achieving a little bit of redness that we are looking for and swelling as our endpoints of treatment. And there, we have achieved our goal. And how do you feel, Patty?
I feel great. Didn't feel a thing. It was actually very relaxing.
Well, that's what we like to hear. This treatment will reduce the redness that she is experiencing because of her rosacea, which is an inflammatory condition of the skin. It will also reduce the growth of capillaries and blood vessels. This treatment is called Refirm because initially it will tighten the collagen that's already on her skin and then gradually allow new collagen fibers to be generated.
We're now back with Dr. Pickens. Very interesting, doctor, what we just saw.
Well, thank you very much. And I hope that the audience can appreciate that this is a comfortable procedure. The patient didn't have any anesthesia and she didn't experience any pain.
And that's significant, and what I love about this, and that's why we wanted to have you on today, to enlighten us again about all the benefits that come from this treatment option, is that no surgery is required. You're getting the impact and the results that are dramatic, as we saw in some of the pictures earlier as well, without any surgery whatsoever and little to no downtime in many cases.
Yes, that's correct. And with the same technology, we also have the ability to remove hair, and we can give tightening on the body as well. So in addition to those areas of the neck and the face, hands, chest, we can also do the abdomen, the back, buttocks and thighs, the love handles, and the upper arm that has sagging as well.
My goodness, quite a few areas in our body that we can build back up and look good again.
Why not, if the technology is there?
Lastly, doctor, we've only got a few moments left, and I wanted to ask you, before I let you go, you and your practice, About Face Aesthetic Centers here in Alexandria, Virginia, have developed a very strong reputation of excellence in the area of skin rejuvenation. And I wanted to ask you what separates you and your practice apart from many of the others in this region.
Well, I think from the time that you walk in, you can recognize that this is a doctor's office, but we've gone to great lengths for it not to appear like a doctor's office. Actually, this is the only medical spa that is owned and operated by a physician. And what we do is we try to establish relationships with our clients. When people come here, they're really part of our family. We participate with teaching and educating, and we do that through monthly events. And our monthly events are geared toward our clients, but also open to the public, so that we can educate people on the new technology that is available to them. We strive to have the latest and the newer types of technology that are more inclusive for people of all skin types, and people with ethnic skin can come here and know that they can likewise get treatment that is safe and that has been proven time and time again on all skin types. Also, what we do here, we have a lot of fun things. Our clients who also have businesses, we like to include them in our events. We are doing a book signing next year for one of our clients who is a new author.
My goodness.
So we establish relationships. It's more than just coming here, having your treatment, and then going home.
In other words, a medical spa run and led by a physician with your credentials that has these newest advancements like we've been discussing today with this treatment that can so effectively rejuvenate our skin and make us look years younger.
Right.
And on top of all that, you all really care about your patients. And that's what our research found as well. You go that extra mile to make sure your patients are well taken care of, and you literally hold their hand if need be and walk them through. That's wonderful, doctor. It's great to know there are still practices like yours around in this day and age.
Well, thank you. That's the most fun part about this business.
Yes, indeed. And on that note, I'd like to thank you for joining us and being a guest on our program today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.